Hello, everyone. Thank you for your patience. My name is Abby Nasworthy, and this is my senior thesis production. The showtime is about an hour and 15 minutes with no intermission. I have been working on this script since March of last year as the script adapter, the director, the costume designer, and the set designer, and I could not be more proud of what we're about to show you tonight. Your feedback is very important to me. If you go back to the website, underneath the show title, there is a section called Comments, where you can feel free to leave any questions, comments, or well wishes for the cast and crew there. I thank you for joining us on our final show tonight, and I humbly invite you to enjoy my take on Shakespeare's Macbeth.
Come, you spirits that tend on mortal thoughts. Unsex me here. Crowned to the toe top full of direst cruelty. Stop up the access and passage to remorse. No compunctious visitings of nature shake my fell purpose, nor keep peace between the effect and hit. Make thick my blood. Take my milk for gall. Make thick my blood, take my milk for gall, you murdering ministers. Wherever in your sightless substances you wait on nature's mischief. Pall me in the dunnest smoke of hell, that my keen knife see not the wound it makes. Come, you spirits that tend on mortal thoughts, stop up the access and passage to remorse, that no compunctious visitings of nature shake my fell purpose. Take my milk for gall, you murdering ministers. Come, thick night. Come, you spirits that tend on mortal thoughts. Unsex me here. Come, you spirits that tend on mortal thoughts. Unsex me here. Come, you spirits that tend on mortal thoughts. Unsex me here. Come, you spirits that tend on mortal thoughts. Unsex me here. Come, you spirits that tend on mortal thoughts. Unsex me here. Come, you spirits that tend on mortal thoughts. Unsex me here. Come, you spirits that tend on mortal thoughts. Unsex me here. Come, you spirits that tend on mortal thoughts. Unsex me here. Come, you spirits that tend on mortal thoughts. Unsex me here. Come, you spirits that tend on mortal thoughts. Unsex me here. Come, you spirits that tend on mortal thoughts. Unsex me here. Come, you spirits that tend on mortal thoughts. Unsex me here. Come, you spirits that tend on mortal thoughts. Unsex me here. And fill me from the crown to the toe top full of direst cruelty. Make thick my blood. Stop up the access and passage to remorse, that no compunctious visitings of nature shake my fell purpose, nor keep peace between the effect and hit. Come to my woman's breasts, and take my milk for gall. You murdering ministers, wherever in your sightless substances you wait on nature's mischief. Come, thick night, and pall thee in the dunnest smoke of hell, that my keen knife see not the wound it makes, nor heaven peep through the blanket of the dark to cry, hold, hold.
To trade and traffic with Macbeth in riddles and affairs of death.
Meet me in the morning. Thither he will come to know his destiny.
I am for the air. This night I'll spend unto a dismal and fatal end.
He shall spurn fate, scorn death, and bear his hopes of wisdom, grace, and fear. And as you know, security is mortal's chiefest enemy. In thunder, lightning, or in rain.
When the hurly-burly's done, when the battle's lost and won.
That will be the air set of sun,
Where the place
Upon the hat,
there to meet with Macbeth.
I come, Grimalkin.
haddock cold.
Anon,
Fair is foul, and foul is fair.
hover through the fog and filthy air. A drum, Macbeth doth come. The wayward sisters hand in hand.
Posters of the sea and land.
Thus do go about.
Thrice to thine and thrice to
mine, and thrice again to make up nine. Peace, the charms wound up.
So foul and fair a day I have not seen.
How far is it called before us? What are these? So withered and so wild in their attire that look not like the inhabitants of the earth and yet are on it. Live you, or are you aught that man may question? You seem to understand me by each at once, her happy finger laying upon her skinny lips. You should be woman, and yet your beards forbid me to interpret that you are so.
Speak if you can. What are you?
All hail Macbeth. Hail to thee, Thane of Glamis.
All hail Macbeth. Hail to thee, Thane of Cawdor.
All hail Macbeth, that shall be king hereafter.
Good sir, why do you start and seem to fear things that do sound so fair? In the name of the truth, are ye fantastical, or that indeed which outwardly ye show? My noble partner, you greet with present grace and great prediction of noble having and of royal hope. To me, you speak not. If you can look into the seeds of time and say which grain will grow and which will not, speak then to me, who neither beg nor fear your favors nor your hate.
Hail,
Hail.
hail. Lesser than Macbeth, and greater.
Not so happy, yet much happier.
Thou shalt get kings, though thou be none. So all hail Macbeth and Banquo.
Banquo and Macbeth, all hail.
Stay, you imperfect speakers, tell me more. By Sinel's death I know I am Thane of Glamis, but how of Cawdor? The Thane of Cawdor lives, a prosperous gentleman, and to be king stands not within the prospect of belief. Say where hence you owe this strange intelligence, or why upon this blasted heath you stop our way with such prophetic greeting. Speak, I charge you!
The earth had bubbles as the water has, and these are of them. Whither are they vanished?
Into the air, and what seemed corporal melted as breath into the wind. Would they had stayed.
Were these things here as we do speak of them? Or have ye eaten on the insane root that takes the reason prisoner?
Your children shall be kings,
You shall be king.
and Thane of Cawdor too, went it not so?
To the self-same tune and words. Who's here?
The king hath happily received, Macbeth, the news of thy success, and, for an earnest of a greater honor, he bade me, for him, call thee Thane of Cawdor, for it is thine.
What? Can the devil speak true?
The Thane of Cawdor lives. Why do you dress me in borrowed robes?
Who was the Thane lives yet, but under heavy judgment bears that life which he deserves to lose. Whether he was combined with those of Norway, or did line the rebels with hidden help and vantage, or that with both he labored his country's wreck, I know not, but treason's capital, confessed and proved, have overthrown him.
Glamis and Thane of Cawdor, greatness is behind. I thank you for your pains. Do not hope your children shall be kings, when those that gave Thane of Cawdor to me promise no less to them.
A trusted home might yet enkindle you into the crown besides the Thane of Cawdor. But 'tis strange, and oftentimes to win us to our harm, the instruments of darkness tells us the truth. Win us with honest trifles to betray us in deepest consequence. Cousin, a word, I pray you.
Two truths are told as happy prologue to the swelling act of the imperial theme. I thank you, gentlemen. Cannot be ill, cannot be good. If ill, why hath given me earnest of success, commencing in a truth? I am Thane of Cawdor. If good, why do I yield to the suggestion, whose horrid image doth unfix my hair, and make my seated heart knock at my ribs against the use of nature? Present fears are less than horrible imaginings. My thought, whose murder is yet but fantastical, shakes my single state of man, so that function is smothered in surmise, and nothing is but what is not.
Look, how our partner's wrapped.
If chance will have me king, why chance may crown me without my stir.
New honors come upon him. Like our strange garments, cleave not to their mold, but with the aid of use.
Come what come may, time and hour run through the roughest day.
Worthy Macbeth, we stay upon your leisure.
Give me your favor, my dull brain was wrought with things forgotten. Let us towards the king. Let's think upon what hath chanced, and let us speak our free hearts each to other.
Very gladly.
Till then enough, come friends.
They met me in the day of success, and I have learned by the perfect's report. They have more in them than mortal knowledge. When I burnt in desire to question them further, they made themselves air, into which they vanished. Whilst I stood wrapped in the wonder of it, came missives from the king, who all hailed me Thane of Cawdor, by which title before these wayward sisters saluted me, and referred me to the coming on of time with, Hail, King that shalt be. This have I thought good to deliver thee, my dearest partner of greatness, that thou mightst not lose the dues of rejoicing by being ignorant of what greatness is promised thee. Lay it to thy heart, and farewell. Glamis thou art, and Cawdor, and shalt be what thou art promised. Yet do I fear thy nature. It is too full of the milk of human kindness to catch the nearest way. Thou wouldst be great, art not without ambition, but without the illness should attend it. What thou wouldst highly, that wouldst thou holily, wouldst not play false, and yet wouldst wrongly win. Thou'dst have, great Glamis, that which cries, thus thou must do if thou have it, and that which rather what thou dost fear to do than wishest should be undone. hie thee hither, that I may pour my spirits in thine ear and chastise with the valor of my tongue all that impedes thee from the golden round which fate and metaphysical aid doth seem to have thee crowned withal. What is your tidings?
The king comes here tonight.
Thou art mad to say it. Is not thy master with him, who wert so would have informed for preparation?
It's true, so please you. Our Thane is coming.
Give him tending. He brings great news. The raven himself is hoarse that croaks the fatal entrance of Duncan under my battlements. Great Glamis, worthy Cawdor, greater than both, by the all-hail hereafter, thy letters have transported me beyond this ignorant present. And I feel now the future in the instant.
My dearest love, Duncan comes here tonight.
And when goes hence?
Tomorrow, as he purposes.
Oh, never shall sun that morrow see. Your face, my Thane, is as a book where men may read strange matters. To beguile the time, look like the time. Bear welcome in your eye, your hand. Your tongue. Look like the innocent flower, but be the serpent under it. He that's coming must be provided for. And you shall put this night's great business into my dispatch, which shall, to all our nights and days to come, give solely sovereign sway and masterdom.
We will speak further.
Only look up clear. To alter favor ever is to fear. Leave all the rest to me.
If it were done when 'tis done, then 'twere well it were done quickly. If the assassination could trammel up the consequence, and catch with his surcease success, that but this blow might be the end all be all here. But here, upon this bank and shoal of time, we jump the life to come. He's here in double trust. First as I am his kinsman and his subject, strong both against the deed, then as his host, who should against his murderer shut the door, not bear the knife myself. Besides this, Duncan hath worn his faculties so meek, hath been so clear in his great office, that his virtues will plead like angels trumpet-tongued against the deep damnation of his taking off. And pity shall blow the horrid deed to every eye, that tears shall drown the wind. I have no spur to prick the sides of my intent, but only vaulting ambition, which overleaps itself and falls on the other. How now, what news?
He has almost supped. Why have you left the chamber?
Hath he asked for me?
Know you not he has?
We will proceed no further in this business. He hath honored me of late, and I brought golden opinions from all sorts of people, which would be worn now in their newest gloss, not cast aside so soon.
Was the hope drunk, wherein you dressed yourself? Hath it slept since? And wakes it now to look so green and pale at what it did so freely? From this time, such I account thy love. Art thou afeard to be the same in thine own act and valor? As thou art in desire, wouldst thou have that which thou esteemest the ornament of life, and live a coward in thine own esteem, letting I dare not wait upon I would, like the poor cat in the adage.
Pretty peace! I dare do all that may become a man. Who dares do more is none.
What beast was it then that made you break this enterprise to me? When you durst do it, then you were a man. And to be more than what you were, you would be so much more the man. Nor time nor place did then adhere, and yet you would make both. They have made themselves, and their fitness now does unmake you. I have given suck, and know how tender 'tis to love the babe that milks me. I would, while it was smiling in my face, have plucked my nipple from his boneless gums and dashed the brains out, had I so sworn as you have done to this. If we should fail, we fail. But screw your courage to the sticking place, and we'll not fail. When Duncan is asleep, whereto the rather shall his day's hard journey soundly invite him, his 2 chamberlains will I, with wine and wassail, so convince that memory, the warder of the brain shall be a fume, and the receipt of reason a limbeck only, when in swinish sleep their drenched natures lie as in a death. What cannot you and I perform upon the unguarded Duncan? What not put upon his spongy officers, who shall bear the guilt of our great quell?
Bring forth men, children only, for thy undaunted mettle should compose nothing but males. Will it not be received when we have marked with blood those sleepy 2 of his own chamber, and used their very daggers that they have done it?
Who dares receive it other, as we shall make our grief and clamor roar upon his death?
I am settled, and bent up, each corporal agent to this terrible feat. Away, and mark the time with fairish show. False face must hide what the false heart doth know.
Who's there?
A friend.
What, sir? Not yet at rest. The king's abed, he hath been an unusual pleasure, and sent forth great largesse to your offices. This diamond he greets your wife withal by the name of the most kind hostess, and shut up in measureless content.
Being unprepared, our will became the servant to defect. What else should free have wrought?
All's well. I had a dream about the 3 wayward sisters last night. To you, they have showed some truth.
I think not of them. Yet when we can entreat an hour to serve, we would spend it in some words upon that business, if you shall grant the time.
At your kindest leisure.
If you shall cleave to my consent when 'tis, it shall make honor for you.
So I lose none in seeking to augment it, but still keep my bosom franchise and my allegiance clear. I shall be counseled.
Good, repose the while.
Thanks, sir. The like to you.
Is this a dagger which I see before me? The handle towards my hand. Come, let me clutch thee. I have thee not, yet I see thee still. Art thou fatal vision, sensible both to feeling as to sight? Or art thou but a dagger of the mind, a false creation proceeding from the heat-oppressed brain? I see thee yet, in form as palpable as which I draw. Thou marshallest me the way that I was going, and such an instrument I was to use. My eyes are made the fools of the other senses. Where else worth all the rest? I see thee yet, and on thy blade and dungeoned gounce of blood, which was not so before. There is no such thing. It is a bloody business which informs thus to my eyes. Thou sure and firm set earth hear not my steps which way they walk. For fear thy very stones prate of my whereabouts, and take the present horror from the time which now suits with it. Whilst I threat he lives, words to the heat of deeds too cold breath gives. I go, and it is done. Hear it not, Duncan, for the knell summons thee to heaven or to hell.
That which hath made them drunk hath made me bold. What hath quenched them hath given me fire. Hark! Peace! It was the owl that shrieked, the fatal bellman, which gives the sternest good night. He is about it. The doors are open, and the surfeited grooms do mock their charge with snores. I have drugged their possets, that death and nature do contend about them, whether they live or die.
Who's there? What ho?
Alack, I am afraid they have awaked, and 'tis not done. The attempt and not the deed confounds us. Hark, I laid their daggers ready. He could not miss 'em. Had he not resembled my father as he slept, I had done it. Oh, my husband.
I have done the deed. Didst thou not hear a noise?
I heard the owl scream and the crickets cry. Did not you speak?
When?
Now!
As I descended? Our cool eyes in the second chamber.
Welcome.
This is a sorry sight.
Foolish thought to say a sorry sight.
There's one did laugh and sleep, and one cried, Murder! That they did wake each other. I stood and heard them, but they did say their prayers, and I addressed them again to sleep.
There are two lodged together.
One cried, God bless us, and amen the other. As if they'd seen me with these hanged man hands. Listening to their fear, I could not say amen when they did say God bless us.
Consider it not so deeply.
But wherefore could I not pronounce amen? I had most need of blessing, and amen stuck in my throat.
These deeds must not be thought after these ways, so it will make us mad.
Methought I heard a voice cry, Sleep no more, Macbeth does murder sleep. Innocent sleep. Sleep that knits up the raveled sleeve of care. Death of each day's life. Sore labor is bad, the balm of hurt minds, great nature's second course, chief nourisher in life's feast.
What do you mean?
Still it cried, Sleep no more to all the house. Glamis hath murdered sleep, therefore Cawdor shall sleep no more. Macbeth shall sleep no more.
Who was it that thus cried? Why, worthy Thane, you do unbend your noble strength to think so brain-sickly of things. Go get some water and wash this filthy witness from your hand. Why did you bring these daggers from the place? They must lie there! Go carry them and smear the sleepy grooms with blood!
I'll go no more. I'm afraid to think what I have done. Look on it again, I dare not.
Confirm of purpose, give me the daggers. The sleeping and the dead are but as pictures. 'Tis the eye of childhood that fears a painted devil. If he do bleed, I'll gild the faces of the grooms withal, for it must seem their guilt.
Whence is that knocking? How is it when every noise appalls me? What hands are here? Ah, they pluck out my eyes. Will all great Neptune's oceans wash this blood clean from my hands? No. This my hand will rather the multitudinous seas in incarnadine, making the green one red.
My hands are of your color, but I shame to wear a heart so white. I hear a knocking at the south entry. Retire we to our chamber. A little water clears us of this deed. How easy is it then? Your constancy hath left you unattended. Hark, we're knocking. Get on your nightgown, lest occasion call us and show us to be watchers. Be not lost so poorly in your thoughts.
To know my deed, 'twere best not know myself. Wake Duncan with thy knocking. I would thou couldst.
Here's a knocking indeed. If a man were a porter of a hell gate, he should have old turning the key. Knock, knock, knock. Who's there? Faith, here's an English tailor. Come hither, for stealing out of a French hose. Come in, tailor. Here you may roast your goose. Knock, knock, never quiet. What are you? But this place is too cold for hell. I'll delve it no further. I thought that some of all professions that go the primrose way to the everlasting bonfire. Anon, I pray you remember the porter.
Was it so late, good friend, ere you went to bed, that you do lie so late?
Fate, sir, we're carousing until the second cock. And drink, sir, it is a great provoker of 3 things.
And what 3 things does drink especially provoke?
Marry, sir, nose painting, sleep, and urine.
Oh.
Lechery, sir, it provokes and unprovokes. It provokes a desire, but takes away the performance. Makes him stand to and not stand to. In conclusion, it equivocates him in his sleep, and in giving him the lie, leaves him.
I believe drink gave thee the lie last night. Is thy master stirring? Our knocking has awakened him. Here he comes.
Good morrow, both.
Is the king stirring, worthy thane?
Not yet.
He did command me to call timely upon him. Almost slipped the hour.
I'll bring you to him.
I know it is a joyful trouble to you, but yet 'tis one.
The labor we delight in. Physic Spain. This is the door.
I'll make so bold to call, for 'tis my limited service.
Goes the king hence today?
He does. He did appoint so.
The night has been unruly. Where we lay, our chimneys were blown down, and, as they say, lamentings heard in the air. Strange screams of death and prophesying with accents terrible of dire combustion and confused events, new hatched to the woeful time. The obscure bird clamored the livelong night. Some say the earth was feverous and did shake.
'Twas a rough night.
My young remembrance cannot parallel a fellow to it.
Horror. Tongue nor heart cannot conceive nor name thee.
What's the matter?
Confusion now hath made its masterpiece. Most sacrilegious murder hath broke ope the Lord's anointed temple and stole thence the life of the building.
What is it you say, the life?
Mean you, his majesty?
Approach the chamber and destroy your sight with a new gorgon. Do not bid me speak. See and then speak yourselves. Awake! Awake! Ring the alarm bell! Murder! Treason! Banquo, Malcolm, shake off this downy sleep, death's counterfeit, and look on death itself. Up and see the great doom's image. Malcolm, Banquo is from your graves. Rise up and walk like spice and countenance this horror. Ring the bell!
What's the business that such a hideous trumpet calls to parley the sleepers of the house? Speak, speak!
Gentle lady, 'tis not for you to hear what I may speak. The repetition on a woman's ear would murder as it fell. Oh, Banquo, our royal master is murdered.
Whoa! Alas, what in our house?
Too cruel anywhere! Dear Duff, I prithee, contradict thyself to say it is not so.
Had I but died an hour before this chance, I have lived a blessed time. For from this moment there is something serious with mortality. All life is but toys. Grace and renown is dead. The wine of life is drawn, and the mere least has left this vault to brag of.
What is amiss?
You are and do not know it. The spring, the head, the fountain of your blood is stopped. The very source of it is stopped.
Your royal father is murdered.
By whom?
Those of his chamber, as it seemed, had done it. Their hands and faces were badged with blood. So were their daggers, which unwiped we found upon their pillows. They stared and were distracted. No man's life was to be trusted with them.
Oh, yet do repent me of my fury that I did kill them.
Wherefore did you so?
What man can be wise, amazed, temperate, furious, loyal, and neutral in a moment? No man. The expedition to my violent love outrun the pauser reason. Here lay Duncan, his silver skin laced with his golden blood, and his stabbed gashes looked like a breach in nature for ruin's wasteful entrance. There, the murder steeped in the colors of their trade, their daggers unmannerly breached with gore. Who could refrain that had a heart to love, and in that heart courage to make love's known?
Help me, Hansel!
Look to the lady. And when we have our naked frailties hit that suffer an exposure, let us meet to question this bloody piece of work to know it further. Fears and scruples shake us. In the great hand of God I stand, and thence against undivulged pretense I fight of treasonous malice.
And so do I.
So let's briefly put on manly readiness and meet in the hall together.
Well
Well
contended.
contended. What will I do? Not consort with them. To show an unfelt sorrow is an office which the false man does easy. To England. There's daggers in men's smiles. The near in blood. The near bloody.
Thou hast it now. King, Cawdor, Glamis, all as the wayward woman promised, and I fear thou played most foully for it. Yet it was said it should not stand in thy posterity, and that myself should be the root and father of many kings, if there comes a truth from them as upon thee, Macbeth, their speeches shine. Why, by the wordies on thee made good, may they not be my oracles as well, and set me up in hope? But hush, no more.
Here's our chief guest.
If he had been forgotten, it had been as a guest.
In our great feast, and all thing unbecoming. Tonight we hold a solemn supper, sir, and I'll request your presence.
Let your highness command upon me, for which my duties are with the most indissoluble tie forever knit.
Ride you this afternoon?
Aye, my good lord.
We should have else desired your advice, which have been both grave and prosperous in this day's council, but we'll take tomorrow. Is it far you ride?
As far, my lord, as will take up the time twixt this and the supper, go not my horse the better. I must become a borrower of the night for a dark hour or twain.
Fail not our feast.
My lord, I will not.
We hear our bloody cousin is bestowed in England, filling his hearers with strange inventions, and not confessing his cruel patricide. But of that tomorrow, when therewithal we shall have cause a state craving us jointly. Hie you to horse, adieu to your return at night. Goes Fleance with you?
Aye, my good lord. Our time does call upon us.
I wish your horses swift and sure of foot, and so I do commend you to their backs. Farewell. Let every man be master of his time till 7 at night. To make society the sweeter welcome, we will keep ourselves alone till supper time. Whilst then, God be with you. To be thus is nothing, but to be safely thus. Our fears in Banquo stick deep, and in his royalty of nature reigns, which would be feared. 'Tis much he dares, and to that dauntless temper of his mind he hath a wisdom that guides his valor to act in safety. There's none but he whose being I do fear. He chid the sisters when first they put the name of king upon me, and bade them speak to him. Then prophet-like they held him father to a line of kings. Upon my head they placed a fruitless crown, and put a barren scepter in my gripe. Thence to be went with an unlineal hand, no son of mine succeeding. If it be so for Banquo's issue, have I filed my mind for them, the gracious Duncan I have murdered. given my eternal jewel to the common enemy of man to make them kings, the seeds of Banquo kings! Who's there? Was it not yesterday we spoke together?
It was, so please your highness.
And so you know, Banquo was your enemy.
True, my lord.
And so was he mine, and in such bloody distance that every minute of his being thrusts against my nearest of life. And though I could with barefaced power sweep him from my sight and bid my will advance it, yet I must not, for certain friends that are both his and mine, whose loves I may not drop, but wail his fall, who I myself struck down. Thence it is that I to your assistance do make love, masking the business from the common eye for sundry weighty reasons.
I shall, my lord, perform what you command me.
It is concluded, Banquo, thy soul's flight, if it find heaven, must find it out tonight.
Knots had, all spent, where our desire is got without content. 'Tis safer to be that which we destroy than by destruction dwell in doubtful joy. How now, my lord, why do you keep alone? Of sorriest fancies your companions making, letting those thoughts which should indeed have died with them they think on. Things without all remedy should be without regard. What's done is done.
We have scorched the snake, not killed it. She'll close and be herself, while our poor Malice remains in danger of her former tooth. But let the frame of things disjoint. Both the worlds suffer, ere we will eat our meal in fear and sleep in the affliction of these terrible dreams that shake us nightly. Better be with the dead, whom we to gain our peace have sent to peace, than on the torture of the mind to lie in restless ecstasy. Duncan is in his grave. After life's fitful fever, he sleeps well. Treason has done his worst, nor steel, nor poison mouse, domestic, foreign, lively, nothing can touch him further.
Come on, gentle, my lord. Sleek o'er your rugged looks. Be bright and jovial among your guests tonight.
So shall I, love, and so I pray be you. Let your remembrance apply to Banquo. Present him emiance both with eye and tongue. Unsafe the while that we must lave our honors in these flattering streams, and make our faces visors to our hearts, disguising what they are.
You must leave this.
Hopeless scorpions is my mind, dear wife! Thou knowest that Banquo and his fleance lives!
But in them nature's copies not etern.
There's comfort yet. They are assailable. Then be thou Jachin, ere the bat has flown his cloistered flight to black Hecate's summons. The shard-born beetle and his drowsy hums have rung night's yearning peal. There shall be done a deed of dreadful note.
What's to be done?
Be innocent of the knowledge, dearest Chuck, till thou applaud the deed. Come, sealing night, scarf up the tender eye of pitiful day, and with thy bloody and invisible hand cancel and tear to pieces that great bond which keeps me pale. Light thickens, and the crow makes wing to the rooky wood. Good things of day begin to droop and drowse, while night's black agents to their prey do rouse. Thou marvelest at my words, but hold thee still. Things bad begun make strong themselves by ill. So pray, go with me. You know your own degree. Sit down. At first and last, the hearty welcome.
Thanks to your majesty.
Ourself will mingle with society and play the humble host. Our hostess keeps her state, but in best time we will require her welcome.
Pronounce it for me, sir, to all our friends, for my heart speaks. They are welcome.
See, they encounter thee with their heart's thanks. Both sides are even. Here I'll sit in the midst, be large in mirth, and none will drink a measure the table round. There's blood on thy face.
'Tis Banquo's then.
'Tis better thee without than thee within. Is he dispatched?
My lord, his throat is cut. That I did for him.
Thou art the best of the cutthroats. Yet he's good that did the like for Fleance. If thou didst it, thou art the nonpareil.
Most royal sir, Fleance escaped.
The grown serpent lies. The worm that split hath nature that in time will venom breed, no teeth for present. Get thee gone. Tomorrow we'll hear ourselves again.
My royal lord, you do not give the chair. The feast is sold that is not often vouched while 'tis a-making. 'Tis given with welcome. To feed were best at home. From thence the sauce to meat is ceremony. Meeting were bare without it.
Sweet remembrance, sir. Now good digestion waits on health and appetite on both.
May it please your highness, sit.
Here had our country's honor roofed, were the graced person of our Banquo present, whom may I rather challenge for unkindness than pity for mischance.
His absence, sir, lays blame upon his promise. Pleased your highness to grace us with your royal company.
The table's full.
Here's a place reserved, sir.
Where?
Here, my good lord. What is it that moves your highness?
Which of you hath done this?
What?
Thou canst not say I did it. Never shake thy gory locks at me.
Gentlemen, rise. His highness is not well.
Sit, worthy friends, my lord is often thus, and hath been from his youth. Pray you keep seat. The fit is momentary. Upon a thought he will be well again. If much you note him, you shall much offend him, and extend his passion. Feed, and regard him not. Are you a man?
Aye, and a bold one that dare look on that which might appall the devil.
Oh, proper stuff. This is the very painting of your fear. This is the air-drawn dagger which, you said, led you to Duncan. Oh, these flaws and starts, impostors to true fear, would well become a woman's story at a winter's fire, authorized by her grandam. Why do you make such faces? When all's done, you look but on a stool.
Pray! See there, behold, look now. How say you? Why, what care I, if thou canst not speak too? If charnel houses and our graves must send those that we bury back, our monument shall be the malls of kites.
What quite unmanned in folly?
If I stand here, I saw him.
Fine, for shame.
Blood hath been shed ere now. In the olden time, human stature purged the gentle wheel. Aye, and since too, murders have been performed too terrible for the ear. The times have been that when the brains were out, the man would die, and there an end. But now they rise again, with 20 mortal murders on their crowns, and push us from our stools. This is more strange than such a murder is.
My noble lord, your worthy friends do like you.
I do forget. Do not muse at me, my most worthy friends. I have a strange infirmity which is nothing to those that know me. Come, love and health to all, and then I'll sit down. Give me some wine. Fill full. I drink to the general joy of the whole table, and to our dear friend Banquo, whom we miss would he be here. To all and him we thirst, and all to all.
Our duties and the pledge.
Avaunt and quit my sight! Let the earth hide thee. Thy bones are marrowless, thy blood is cold. Thou hast no speculation in those eyes which thou dost glare with.
Think of this, good peers, but as a thing of custom. 'Tis no other, only it spoils the pleasure of the time.
What man dare? I dare. Approach thou like the rugged Russian bear, the armed rhinoceros, or the Hershon tiger. Take any form but that, and my firm nerves shall never tremble or be alive again.
Oh, my lord.
And bear me to thy desert with thy sword. If trembling I inhabit, then protest me the baby of a girl. Hence! Horrible shadow! Unreal mockery! Hence! Why so? Being gone, I am man again. Pray you, sit still.
You have displaced the mirth, broke the good meeting with most admired disorder.
Can such things be, and overcome us like a summer's cloud without our special wonder? You make me strange even to the disposition that I owe, when now I think you can behold such sights, and keep the natural ruby of your cheeks when mine is blanched with fear.
What sights, my lord?
Pray you speak not. He grows worse and worse. Question enrages him. At once, good night. Stand not upon the order of your going, but go at once.
Good night, and better health attend his majesty.
A kind good night to all.
It will have blood, they say. Blood will have blood. Stones are known to move and trees to speak. Augurs and understood relations have by magpies, cuffs, and rooks bring forth the secretest man of blood. What is the night?
Almost at odds with morning, which is which.
How sayest thou that Macbeth denies his person at our great bidding?
Did you send to him, sir?
I hear it by the way, but I will send. There's not a one of them, but in his house I keep a servant fed. I will tomorrow, and betimes I will to the wayward sisters, more shall they speak. For now I am bent to know by the worst means the worst. For my own good all causes shall give way. I am in blood. Stepped in so far, should I wait no more. Returning were as tedious as go over. Strange things I have in head, that will to hand, which must be acted ere they must be scanned.
You lack the season of all natures. Sleep.
Come, wilt to sleep? My strange and self-abuse is the initiate fear that wants hard use. We are yet but young indeed.
Thrice the brinded cat had mewed.
Thrice and once the hedge-pig whined.
Harp your cries, 'tis time, 'tis time. Round about the cauldron go, in the poisoned entrails throw. Toad that under cold stone, days and nights has 30 wone. Sweltered venom sleeping got, boil thou first in the charmed pot. Double, double, toil and trouble, fire burning, cauldron bubble.
Fillet of a fenny snake, in the cauldron boil and bake. Eye of newt into a frog, wool of bat and tongue of dog. Adder's fork and blindworm sting, lizard's leg and owlet's wing. For a charm of powerful trouble, like a hell broth boil and bubble.
Double, double, toil and trouble, fire burning, cauldron bubble. Scale of dragon, tooth of wolf, witch's mummy, maw and gulf. Of the raven, salty sharp, root of hemlock dig in the dark. Finger umber, strangle bab, make the gruel thick and slab. Added to a tiger's chardon for the ingredients of our culture. Double, double, toil and trouble, fire burning, cauldron bubble.
Cool it with a baboon's blood, then the charm is firm and good. By the pricking of my thumb, something wicked this way comes. Open locks, whoever knocks.
How now, you secret black and midnight hags, what is it you do?
A deed without a name.
I conjure you by that which you profess, however you come to know it. Answer me to what I ask you.
Speak.
Demand.
We'll answer. Say, if thou'st rather hear it from our mouths, or from our masters.
Call him. Let me see him.
Come high or low, thyself in office deftly show.
Macbeth! 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 Beware, Macduff. Beware the Thane of Fife. Dismiss me. Enough!
Whatever thou art, for thy good caution, thanks. Thou hast harped
He
my
will
fear.
not be commanded. Here is another, more potent than the first.
Had I 3 ears, I'd hear thee.
Be bloody, bold, and resolute. Laugh to scorn the power of man. For none of women born shall harm Macbeth.
Then live, Macduff, what need I fear of thee? But yet I'll make assurance, double sure, and take a bond of fate. Thou shan't not live, that I may tell pale-hearted fear it lies in sleep in spite of thunder. What is this that rises like the issue of a king, and wears upon his baby brow the round and top of sovereignty?
Listen, but speak not to it.
Be lion-mettled, proud, and take no care who chafes, who frets, or where conspirers are. Macbeth shall never vanquished be, until great Birnam wood to high Dunsinane Hill shall come against him.
That will never be. Who could impress the forest, bid the tree to unfix his earth-bound root? Sweet Baldman's good! Rebellion's head rise never to the wood of Birnam rise. And our high-placed Macbeth shall live the lease of nature, pay his breath to time and mortal custom. Yet my heart throbs to know one thing. If your art could tell so much, tell me, shall Banquo's issue ever reign in this kingdom?
Show!
Show.
Show! Show his eyes and grieve his heart. Come like shadows, so depart.
Thou art too like the spirit of Banquo. Down! Thy crown to smear my eyeballs, and thy fell of hair is like the first. A third is like the former. Filthy hags, why do you show me this? A fourth, starred eyes. What will the line stretch out to the crack of doom? Another yet. A seventh, I'll see no more. And yet an eighth appears, who bears a glass which shows me many more. Some I see the twofold balls and treble scepters carry. Horrible sight. For now I know 'tis true. For the blood-bolted Banquo smiles upon me and points at them for his. What is this so?
Aye, sir, all this is so. But why stands Macbeth thus amazedly? Come, sisters, cheer we up his sprite, and show him the best of our delight. I'll charm the air to give a sound, while you perform your antic round, that this great king may kindly say, our duties to his welcome pay.
Where are they? Gone? Let this pernicious hour stand I accursed in the calendar. Come in, we're out there.
What's your grace's will?
Saw you the wayward sisters?
No, my lord.
Infected be the air whereon they ride, and damn those that trust them. I did hear the galloping of horse. Who was it came by?
'Tis 2 or 3 that bring you word Macduff is fled to England.
Fled to England?
Aye, my good lord.
Time thou anticipatest my dread exploits. The flighty purpose is never overtook unless the deed go with it. From this moment the very firstlings of my head will be the firstlings of my hand, and even more to crown my thoughts with axe, be it thought and done. The castle of Macduff I will surprise, seize upon Fife, give the edge of sword his wife, his babes, and all unfortunate souls that trace him in his line. No boasting like a fool. This deed I'll do before this purpose cool. But no more sights! Where are these men? Come, bring me where they are!
Let us seek out some desolate shade, and there weep, our sad bosoms empty.
Let us rather hold fast the mortal sword, and like good men bestride our downfall birthday. Each new morn, new widows howl, new orphans cry, new sorrows strike heaven at the face, that it resounds as if it felt with Scotland, and yelled out like syllable of dollar. See, who comes here?
My countrymen.
Sir, amen.
Stands Scotland where it did?
Alas, poor country, almost afraid to know itself. We cannot be called our mother, but our grave. The dead man's knell is scarce asked for who, and good men's lives expire before the flowers in their caps.
Oh, relation. Too nice and yet too true.
I saw the tyrant's power afoot. Now is the time of help. Your eye in Scotland would create soldiers, make our women fight to doff their dire distress.
Be it their comfort. We are coming thither. Gracious England hath lent us 10,000 men.
Would I could answer such comfort with the like. But I have words that will be howled out in the desert air, where hearing should not latch them.
What concern they? Is it the general cause or a fee grief due to some single breast?
The main part pertains to you alone.
If it be mine, keep it not from me. Quickly, let me have it.
Your castle is surprised. Your wife and babes savagely slaughtered. To relate the manner on the quarry of these murdered deer. To add the death of you.
Oh, merciful heaven. What, man? Ne'er pull your hat upon your brows. Give sorrow words. The grief that does not speak whispers the o'erfraught heart and bids it break.
My children, too?
Children, servants, all that could be found.
Be comforted. Let's make us medicines for our great revenge. To cure this deadly grief.
He has no children. All. Did you say all? Hellkite, all. What? All my pretty chickens and their dam in one fell swoop?
Dispute it like a man!
I shall do so, but I must also feel it as a man. I cannot remember such things that were most precious to me. What? Did heaven look on and not take their part? Sinful Macduff, they were all struck for thee. Not that I am, not for their own demerits, but for mine fell slaughter on their souls. Oh, heaven rest them now. Oh.
Be this the whetstone of your sword. Let grief convert to anger. Blint not the heart, enrage it!
I could play the woman with mine eyes, or the braggart with my tongue. But gentle heavens cut short all intermissions. Front to front, bring thou this fiend of Scotland and myself within my sword's length second. If he scape, heaven forgive him too.
This too goes manly. Come. Go we to the king. Our power is ready. Macbeth is ripe for shaking, and the powers above put on their instruments. Receive what cheer you may. The night is long, that never finds the day.
When was it she last walked?
Since your majesty has gone into the field, I have seen her rise from her bed, take forth paper, write upon it, read it, afterwards seal it, yet return to bed, all of this while in a most fast sleep.
Besides her walking, what at any other time have you heard her say?
That, sir, which I will not report after her.
You may to me, and 'tis most meet you should.
Lo you, here she comes, and this is her very guise, and upon my life fast asleep. Observe her, and stand close.
How came she by that light?
Why, she has light by her continually. 'Tis her command.
You see, her eyes are open.
Aye, but their scents are shut.
What is it she does now? Look how she rubs her hands.
It is an accustomed action with her to seem thus washing her hands. I have known her to continue in this for a quarter of an hour.
Yet here's a spot.
Hark, she speaks.
Out! Damn spot! Out! I say 1, 2.
Why then, 'tis time to do it. Hell is murky.
Fie, my lord! Fie, a soldier, and to fear! What need we fear who knows it, when none can call our power to account? Yet who would have thought the old man to have had so much blood in him?
Do you mark that?
The Thane of Fife had a wife. Where is she now? What? Will these hands ne'er be clean? No more of that, my lord! No more of that, you morrow, with this starting! But here's the smell of the blood still. All the perfumes of Arabia will not sweeten this little hand. Oh! Oh! Oh!
This disease is beyond my practice, yet I have known those who have walked in their sleep, who have died holily in their beds.
Wash your hands. Get on your nightgown. Look, not so pale. I tell you yet again, Banquo's buried. He cannot come out one's grave. To bed! To bed. To bed. There's knocking at the gate. Come, 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 come. Give me your hand.
What's done cannot be undone. To bed.
To bed. To bed.
Will she now go to bed?
Directly. Foul whisperings are abroad. Unnatural deeds do breed unnatural troubles. Infected minds to their deaf pillows will discharge their secrets. More need she the divine than a physician. God, God, forgive us all. Look after her. Remove the means of all annoyance from her, yet still keep eyes upon her. So, good night. My mind she has mated and amazed my sight. I think, but dare not speak.
Good night, good doctor.
Revenge is burning them for their dear causes, which the bleeding and grim alarm excite the mortified man.
What does the tyrant?
Great Dunsinane he strongly fortifies. Some say he's mad. Others that lesser hate him do call it valiant fury.
Now does he feel his secret murder sticking to his hands. Now minutely revolts upbraid his faith breach. Those he commands move only in command, nothing in love. Now does he feel his title hang loose about him like a giant robe upon a dwarfish thief.
Well, march we on, to give obedience where 'tis truly owed. Meet we the medicine of the sickly wheel, and with him pour in our country's purge each drop of us.
Or as so much as it needs, to do the sovereign flower and drown out the weeds. Make we our march towards Burnham.
Bring me no more reports. Let them fly all till Burnham would be removed to Dunsinane. I cannot taint with fear. What's the boy Malcolm? Was he not born of woman? The spirits that know all mortal consequences have pronounced me thus. Fear not, Macbeth. No man that's born of woman shall ever have power upon thee. Then fly, false thanes, and mingle with the English epicures. The mind I sway by, and the heart I bear, shall never sag with doubt, nor shake with fear. The devil damned thee black, thou cream-faced loon. Where got'st thou that goose-luck?
There's 10,000
Geese! Villain!
soldiers, sir.
Go prick thy face and overread thy fear, thy lily-livered boy. What soldiers patch death of thy soul? Those linen cheeks of thine are counselors to fear. What soldiers, Wayface?
The English force, so please you.
Take thy face hence. Satan, I am sick at heart when I behold the... Satan, I say! This push will cheer me ever or deceit me now. I have lived long enough. My way of life has fallen into this sneer, the yellow leaf, and that which should accompany old age is love, honor, obedience. Troops of friends I must not look to have, but in their stead, curses, not loud, but deep-mouthed honor, breathe, which the poor heart would fain deny and dare not. Satan!
What is your gracious pleasure?
I'll fight till my bones, my flesh be hacked. Give me my armor.
'Tis not needed yet.
I'll put it on. Send out more horses. Skirt the country round. Hang those that talk of fear. Give me my armor. How does your patient, doctor?
Not so sick, my lord, as she is troubled with thick-coming fancies that keep her from rest.
Cure her of that. Canst thou not minister to a mind disease? Pluck the memory of a rooted sorrow. Raise out the ridden troubles of the brain, and with some sweet oblivious antidote cleanse the stuffed bosom which weighs so heavy upon the heart.
Therein the patient must minister to himself.
Throw physics to the dogs, I'll none of it. Come, give me my armor, give me my staff. Satan, send out. Doctor, the thanes fly from me. Come, sir, dispatch! If thou couldst, doctor, cast the water of my land, find her disease, and purge it to a sound and pristine health, I would applaud thee to the very echo that should applaud again. Pull it off, I say! What rhubarb, cyme, or what purgative drug would scour these English hence? Hearest thou of them?
Aye, my good lord, your royal preparation makes us hear something.
Bring it after me. I will not be afraid of death and bane till Burnham Forest come to Dunsinane.
Were I from Dunsinane away and clear, profit again should hardly draw me here.
Cousins. I hope the days are near at hand that Chambers will be safe.
What is this before us?
The wood of Burnham.
Let every soldier hew him down a bow and bear it before him. Thereby shall we shadow the numbers of our host and make discovery, air, and report of us.
It
shall be done!
We learn none other than the confident tyrant remains still in Dunsinane, and will endure our setting down before it.
Onwards!
Hang out our banners on the outward walls. The cry is still they come. Our castle's strength will laugh a siege to scorn. Here let them lie, till famine and a goo eat them up. Were they not forced with those that should be ours, we might have met them dareful, beard to beard, and beat them backwards home. What is that noise?
'tis the cry of women.
I have almost forgotten the taste of fierce. The time has been my senses would have cooled to hear a night shriek, and my fell of hair at a dismal treacy would rouse and stir as life were in it. I have supped full of horrors. Direness, familiar to my slaughterous thoughts, cannot once start me. Wherefore was that cry?
The queen, my lord, is dead.
She should have died hereafter. There would have been a time for such a word tomorrow. And tomorrow. And tomorrow. Creeps in this petty pace from day to day, to the last syllable of recorded time, and all our yesterdays have lighted fools the way to dusty death. Out, brief candle. Life's but a walking shadow, a poor player that struts and frets his hours upon the stage and then is heard no more. It is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. Thou comest to use thy tongue, thy story quickly.
As I stood my watch upon the hill, I looked toward Burnham, and anon, methought, the wood began to move.
If thou speakest false, upon the next tree shalt thou hang alive till famine cling thee. I begin to doubt the equivocation of the fiend that lies like truth. Fear not till Burnham wood come to Dunsinane, and now a wood comes towards Dunsinane. Arm, and out! If this which he avances is true, there is nor flying hence nor tarrying here. I adjin to be aweary of the sun, and wish the estate of the world were now undone. Ring the alarm bell! Blow wind, come rack! At least we'll die with hardness on our back.
Tyrant! Show thy face! If thou beest slain, and with no stroke of mine, my wife and children's ghost will haunt me still. I cannot strike at wretched kerns whose arms are higher to bear their staves. Either thou, Macbeth, or else my sword with an unbattered edge I sheath again undeeded. There thou shouldst be. By this great clatter, one of greatest notes seems brooded. Let me find him, fortune, and more I beg not.
Why should I play the Roman fool and die on my own sword, whilst I see the lives? The gashes do better upon them.
Turn, hellhound! Turn.
Of all men else I have avoided thee. But get thee back, my soul is too much charged of blood of thine already.
I have no words. My voice is in my sword, thou bloodier villain than terms can give thee out.
I bear a charmed life, which must not yield to one of woman born.
Despair thy charm. Macduff was from his mother's womb untimely ripped.
I'll not fight with thee.
Then yield thee, coward, and live to be the show and gaze of the time. We'll have thee, as our rarer monsters are, painted on a pole, and under it, here may you see the tyrant.
I will not yield to kiss the ground before young Malcolm's feet, and to be baited with the Rappler's curse. Though Burnham would be come to Dunsinane, and thou opposed being of no woman born. Yet I will try the last. Before my body I throw my warlike shield. Lay on, Macduff, and damned be he who first cries, hold it up!
Hail, King, for so thou art. Behold, the usurper's cursed form. The time is free. I see thee compassed with thy kingdom's pearl. That speak my salutation in their minds, whose voices I desire aloud with mine. Hail, King of Scotland!
Hail, King of Scotland!